This time, I'm talking Magic the Gathering Spider-Man set, Diablo 4 Season 10, and my continued rants on the lovely $140 video game investment I made in Borderlands 4. But first, the intro.
My name is Dom Douglas, and I've been playing Magic the Gathering for what seems like forever, but in fact it's only been on and off for about 30 years. With that comes an expectation that I'm the best player ever. You couldn't be any more wrong in that statement. What I do like, however, is having a lot of fun. Whether it be playing Limited, Draft, Commander, Standard when I get the chance, Arena, Magic the Gathering Online, it doesn't matter as long as a good time is had. And with that, I have some opinions, not just of Magic the Gathering, but also video games, comics, maybe even a TV show or two. This is the Goblin Grenade Podcast.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Dom Douglas for Max Heroes and Villains, and if you like the podcast or have been liking the Goblin Grenade Podcast, please drop a like and a subscribe if you wanted to, and leave a comment down below with anything that you might think, even if you don't like my White Castle coffee mug. Yeah, I'm doing Call to Arms and all those action bits in the beginning of the video now. Until I forget. That's right, we're going to start things off with the Spider-Man set. And I'm recording this September 25th because I have a big chock full next week that I'm not going to be able to get to be able to do the podcast next week. So I want to get this one done in the can, if you will. But so far, not a lot of good things have been coming on the Spider-Man set. I will point to the absolute downfall of the collector booster boxes. Collector booster boxes have 12 packs in them. They're a premium pack made by Wizards of the Coast. It's mostly alt art foils and all this other stuff, and this is where you can get the special Soul Stone card. It's the only way to get it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Wizards changed a lot of things on this set. At its peak, okay, these boxes were going for about $1,100. For a brief moment in time, they were going for $1,100. Then the YouTubers who bought the boxes started cracking the boxes, and they got fleeced. I think Saffron Olive was the first video I watched, and he got them when he got like $4,000 worth of boxes. And this was when they were selling for like $800-900 that he pre-ordered them on, and he got them, and he never came close to making any of his money back. As a matter of fact, he took a significant bath on that. On average, he got those boxes for like $800. On average, he lost, if you want to be a collector, $300 per box on average. So that was the first of a couple videos of people opening up the collector booster boxes and realizing there's only really 3 or 4 hits in this set. And mind you, this is a smaller set. So, and in this collector's is the best chance to get all the alternate printing arts, because in the play boosters, instead of them being 1 in every 3 packs that you would get a random alternate art card, nothing more crazy than just a full art alternate art, they messed with the formula and made it a 1 in 30 chance. So you get 1 alt art per box on a set that was already meant to be a 5 card per pack set, or 7 card per pack set, i.e. Assassin's Creed set. And then they had to emergency make 100 new cards very, very quickly. The set overall, except for a couple of people talking about it, by and by, there's only going to be like maybe 10 cards max in the set that people care about. It's not going to be a good set, and it never was really intended to be a good set, which is weird, because this is the first set of many with Marvel, meaning the next 2 Marvel sets have already been in development. So maybe those will be a little bit better because they've had a full development cycle where they didn't have to catastrophically change the entire meaning of the set. Though the fact that there's really only 5 cards, 6 cards. I'm looking at TCG player prices right now, and like in the middle of August, they were going for about $950 to $1,100. Right now, a collector booster box you can buy for about $600. The retail is about $450. Even the month, just there was this August 31st was the last time it hit a $800 price, and ever since then, every day it's been dropping, and to the point when I can see it dropping a little bit, only because people started realizing, oh, this isn't really good. Then the videos started coming out. So between September 8th and September 12th, that's a 4-day span, it dropped damn near half the amount. It went from $1,100 high to $675 by the September 12th. Then it gets even worse. Just a few days ago, the lowest sold was $570. $540 actually. A box sold for $540, which is basically, if it's a reseller scalper type of purchase, that means that they did not they didn't do good. they didn't make as much money as they thought they would, if they held on to it. Now, price high to low, there are at TCG player right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards going over for $100. Now, mind you, 6 of those cards are selling for over $600. It's between $600 and $1,000. It's the borderless versions of Spectacular Spider-Man, the borderless version of Soulstone, not the special one. Once again, more Spectacular Spider-Man. It's usually the different variants of the Spectacular Spider-Man that are selling for this amount of money. Eddie Brock borderless, Peter Parker borderless, Miles Morales borderless, and then that's it. Everything else tanks. The Soulstone is one of the catch cards, chase cards. It's going for about $80, the basic version. Gwenom is the next basic version card, going for $30. Then the next basic version of a card is Gwenom Remorseless, going for like $20. And this is like the day before the set comes out, where usually the prices will be higher. They are, for the buy and buy, they are almost the highest they will be, except for a few outliers. But there's literally 5 or 6 cards in this set that people care about. Multiversal Passage is the fetch card, and the borderless version is, as this land enters, choose a basic land type, then you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tap. This land is the chosen type. This is selling for like $13 right now. I want to say if you wanted to speculate on a single that will retain its value a lot, it is Multiversal Passage, because that's the borderless version. The regular version is going for like $16 right now. So yeah, I would definitely say that is the chase card. If you the card that I would speculate on to grab a bunch that you're gonna need, because it's guaranteed retaining value. Now, the Eddie Brocks and the Cosmic Spider-Mans, the most expensive variants that you're getting are only available in the collector boosters, and so far the hit rates on those have been terrible. By the way, those borderless versions that I'm talking about are the foil versions. Those are the $800 versions. The regular version, that's the textured foil, I might add. So yeah, the regular version I think is the, let me double check, Spectacular Spider-Man borderless. Yeah, the regular version of the Spectacular Spider-Man borderless, the regular non-foil version, is, the textured foil is like going for $1,000 right now. The regular version is $8. The pre-release version is going for $100. So yeah, that's the media promos have never been. Okay, yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, like, it's not going to be the best set ever. There's going to be a handful of cards that work, that make it good, but that make the set valuable. Look, Aether Drift is being saved by the lands. That's the only reason why Aether Drift is actually still being somewhat sought after, even though you can go into almost any TCG store, any of your local game stores, and ad nauseum pick up as much Aether Drift as possible, only because of those lands, and maybe like one or two other cards in the set. Edge of Eternities is going to have long legs too, because of the lands. It's a good set. I've never been more wrong about a set, but the lands are definitely going to help it, because generally speaking, lands are pretty sought after in Standard, Modern, Pioneer, Commander. So those will be the ones that I would say look at. So that is my opinions on the Spider-Man set. I did not do pre-release. I don't think I will. I might crack some packs open, but I'm not going out of my way to buy it. I'm waiting for the Final Fantasy stuff to acquire a little bit more Final Fantasy stuff if I can, and also see if another Final Fantasy Collector's Showcase Extra Special Edition set is coming out, kind of like Lord of the Rings. There's definitely speculation and hints going on that may be a thing. But now I want to talk about something very quickly in Diablo 4 Season 10. Diablo 4 Season 10 has been strange. I will look on Twitch right now, and the set Diablo 4 Season 10 dropped on Tuesday. This past Tuesday, we're talking 2 days ago. Okay, the first thing I noticed was almost nobody streaming it. Not even the big streamers. I think Riker was streaming a little bit, but generally speaking, most of the Diablo 4 streamers that would go to at least stream the beginning of the season for maybe a day or two didn't. I can see why. It is nothing but more of the same. The Chaos powers are fine. They're barely noticeable. They do broken things with builds. The Chaos armor is a cool idea that took me a bit to wrap my head around. Basically, you can get a unique item dropping with a prefix from another unique item. So, and I'll pull it up right here so I know what to do. So, I'm really okay. There we go. No, come on. There we go. So I say, like, I'm looking for gloves, a chest armor. I'm looking for a chest armor with ranks to Whirlwind, attack speed, and critical chance against close enemies, but I'm also looking for it to drop with the Gore's Devastating Grips unique power of Whirlwind explodes. Yes, I'm playing Whirlwind Barb. Whirlwind explodes for every 3 seconds, dealing 720% increased damage as fire. Critical strikes with Whirlwind reduce the time. Now, this chest armor is going to be unique that doesn't have that specific property, but with the Chaos armor, it has the potential of dropping with that property. So it took me a bit to wrap my head around that. And at the moment, I think I have 2 pieces to like go from like the starter endgame build to basically start ascending to like Torment 2, 3, and 4 difficulties. Now, the thing I enjoyed about this season, yes, it is exactly the same. It hasn't changed in a year, gameplay wise. It's smooth. It's still smooth. Look, it's theoretically baby's first ARPG. I don't have to think. I literally listen to podcasts or have these headphones on listening to music. You know, like, it's totally thoughtless, brainless. Yes, I will have my build guide up, but I barely pay attention to it. Like, I kind of know what I'm doing because, it's not too hard. It's a whirlwind barbarian build that I've played many times in Diablo 4, Diablo 3, Diablo 2. So yeah, like it's not trying to recreate the sandwich yet. You know, that's next season apparently. And I also thought this was going to be a longer season, and according to the seasonal passes, it's not. It's going to be like 2.5 months. So maybe by the end of the year we get season 11 and we get that skill tree rework. And when that drops, that should be the beginning of the massive overhaul of certain things about the game. Now, that being said, the story was very basic. I can understand this season being very... This season has a reason, at least, to have a very bare bones story with it, but it's kind of like almost inexcusable to not at least add a different area for the dungeons, because it's you just copy pasted and used previously used assets. I understand why, because there's a lot. See, they've been kind of boldly saying a lot of work has been going into season 11 for this massive rework, or whatever that rework is. But if it doesn't drop on season 11, you have a problem. That I can almost understand. That being said, it's still enjoyable, and the leveling from 1 to 60 and then Paragon levels is so much fun. I've been on Torment 1 for at least 12, 13 hours right now, and I'm still enjoying it, and I'm digging everything about this game. I'm absolutely having a blast playing on the lowest Torment, and only now am just kind of like, maybe I should like ratchet the difficulty up a little bit, because it hits it for me. It's hitting the sweet spot of like power fantasy. I'm obliterating everything. Look, in the story of Diablo 4, real quick, you were beating gods and demons and devils, and by the end of the game, you're kind of like, I'm the big bat. I'm the big hero. Nobody can beat me. And most of the seasons don't transfer that over well. Even the expansion didn't really, even though I enjoyed the expansion. It didn't really make me feel like I had already whipped the ever-loving daylights out of the underworld. And this one kind of does. Like, it just makes me feel like at Torment 1 right now with my build, which is in that weird transitional period between early endgame and pushing. I like it. That being said, I'm just going to clear up some seasonal content stuff that I have to do. I'm going to get all the armors. I did all the seasonal passes, which I appreciate the 3 other passes being bundled together for 1,000 gold. They're learning. It's not like 1,600 gold for all 3 if you bundle it. And then 2,400 for the fast-tracked one. The basic one's just to unlock all 3 of the others, because one seasonal pass is free, and then there's 3 others that aren't. But they've got the pricing down pretty good right now, so if they keep it at the 1,000 to unlock the 3 without any fast-tracking stuff, I'll be happy with that. Because, next season's coming out next year. New expansion coming out next year. And I know I'm going to be an idiot and buy the super awesome deluxe edition of it. So yeah, that's Diablo 4 Season 10 for me. Why am I complaining about getting the super awesome deluxe edition? Because I'm still complaining about Borderlands 4. Today, there's a patch that is being pushed out where FOV sliders are finally available to console players. As I said, me and my nephew were playing this game. He's on PC. I'm on Xbox One. I'm on Xbox X. We're cross-playing. He's doing some crazy broken things with the knife and whatnot. And then I show him a picture of my field of view right now. And he's like, wow, that is bad. How can you play like this? And I'm like, I don't know, but they better have field of view options available soon for console players. And they finally got around to doing it, even though mods were doing it last week, which was weird because, yeah. So the other things that I've been complaining about Borderlands 4, let me pull up my absolute diatribes on Facebook about this. Because basically it's the only thing I've been posting about is my... And I'll start with this. The item missions in Borderlands 4. You get awesome things like a grapple hook and the vehicle, and I know I've already complained about this before, but if you have like an escort mission where you have to hold a data pad and get to a specified safe zone, drop-off point, silo, fast travel, which you can't fast travel while holding the item, which makes sense, but at least let me use the vehicle, because I don't know why I can't drive with one hand. Depending on the state you live in, you're lucky if people do that. And walking back is just it's such a kill. It just kills the momentum for me. And it quickly de-escalates into Borderlands 4 devolving into a walking simulator that occasionally you use your weapons to kill things. It gets to the point it's so bad that I started dodging combat a lot. And this was before I hit level 50. Especially in the walking missions, I'm just kind of like running as fast as I can, sliding and jumping and doing the double jump. At least it lets you do that. But my biggest issue is, and this is another thing I put, so much small stuff goes wrong that when you consider the totality of everything, all these small little things that are going wrong, it winds up being a gigantic piece of crap. And for Randy Bitchford, or Pitchford, I'm sorry, that was a slip, claiming that he could charge $90 for the base version of this game. What were you smoking, sir? I've completed the campaign with Amon. I have played 60 plus hours into just finishing the campaign and I still will go back to try to complete everything. I've got the 3 vaults unlocked. I've beaten the 3 the 3 vault bosses. I've done almost just about everything except unlock Ultimate Vault Hunter level 5. I got the first Ultimate Vault Hunter, and from videos I've seen, the gear dropping isn't any different. It may be half of a percentage point different. People have done it where they've done 100 kills on Splash Zone from easy, normal, hard, Ultimate Vault Hunter 1 through 5, and realize that there's literally just a 0.5% difference from easy mode to Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. And the gear numbers aren't different. If like say like a legendary gun drops with 100 power on easy, that same gun on Ultimate Vault Hunter 5 is going to drop with 100 power as well. It's not going to be any more better. It's just supposed to be more loot dropping. So it's not. And that's the problem. A big problem. You have these radio towers that, as I said, like they've ripped off like 4 or 5 other games that did these specific mechanics better. Like this is a Far Cry mechanic. One of the Far Cry mechanics, if not even an Assassin's Creed. There's a lot of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, the action ARPGs, DNA in this game. So bear with me here. There's the radio towers that broadcast, and you can take those over and have Kairos radio broadcasting instead of the timekeeper, and this happens even after you complete the main game. But you have to defeat waves of enemies. So say there's like 20 enemies that you got to defeat, and you have to defeat 4 waves of those guys. One is gonna eventually get lost or hide behind cover that you can't step out of. And you won't know it either, because the heads-up display map, while it has some good qualities about it, definitely doesn't show you everything or tell you everything. Key point there, the first vault I did before I beat the first big boss in Kairos, the boss. Soul. I did the vault before that. I didn't know about the pack glide, the glide pack upgrades, because the overhead map and the HUD itself, the heads-up display, didn't tell me that. So what happens is these enemies will just get stuck, and now I have to kind of guess where they're at. This happens way too much in any of these hold the point and fend off the waves type of missions, whether it be the radio broadcast or other things in the game that do this. In story too as well. Like if your Echo 4 has to hack something and you have to defend the Echo 4, this will happen to you a lot. The random cutscenes that will happen are kind of awesome, but are unfinished to me, okay? There's this one cutscene where you're on an elevator, and eventually the elevator will crash, but you all say the elevator's about to crash, and then the screen goes Sopranos ending final episode style, and it just goes to black. Then you hear the crash. Then you see the after effects. I'm sorry, you, Randy, said that this was going to be a $90 game minimum at first, and then you pull that crap. I'm sorry. If you want to charge like premium prices for a basic version of the game, finish that cutscene. And this happens more than once, I might add. The story. Not many of you can tell me the story of Borderlands 4. You're stopping the timekeeper. Okay, what's his inspiration? What is the motive besides being evil, vindictive, wanting to keep people on the planet because it's a prison planet? Is there anything causing him to stay? To be this way? Is there any? Why did he change? Why did the timekeeper change? Why did every other character change? Yeah, I get it. The one person changed because they realized how terrible he had become, but that's barely explained. His motivation's barely explained. Even like, the Ripper Queen has like the best kind of like explanation, but that's like the last part I took. You can take the other 2 zones except for the Fey Fields. You can take the other 2 zones however you want. But I did it Augurs and then the desert. I'm trying to keep it as not spoilerific as possible because I know some people are enjoying this game. I don't know why, but some people are enjoying this game. So yeah, there's that. Like, where's people's motivations at? Where's all this amazing cast of characters that you've built up over the last 6 or so games, and I'm including the side games too, Wonderlands, a pre-sequel, the Tales from the Borderlands, the 2 of those. Where are all these great characters at? Where's the almost swore there and almost dropped the big one. Where's the funny? I laughed a handful of times at this game. The reason why Borderlands, we like it, yes, 3 went over the top with the humor. But that wasn't really the issue. It was the type of humor that you went to. Because, as I said before, it was mainly the villains being Twitch streamers, and it's a 40-something-year-old person who was explained what a Twitch streamer was, writing a script where the villains are Twitch streamers. Once again, Steve Buscemi, hello, my fellow students. Like, I know I'm misquoting that too, but that's the vibe I got. Because, Man. But at least there were some funny parts in this. Yes, the cracking the guy's back mission had me laughing. Some of Amon's lines had me laughing. Some of the one-liners had me laughing. Even Claptrap a little bit had me laughing. Some of the weirdest humor is that Claptrap in the audio settings has his own setting to mute Claptrap. Some of that is funny, but basically this game is hella serious a lot of the time. And it'll sprinkle in some funny bits. Like when Idolator's soul is telling you he doesn't know whether to kill you or turn you into goo. He hasn't made up his mind yet. That's like kind of like a funny line, but everything other than that was very deadly serious. And I think this game is too deadly serious for its own good because it thought, well, we were way too funny in the third game and we tried too hard in the third game, so now let's just erase everything that's made the Borderlands franchise funny. And the Borderlands franchise, let's be honest here, and make a very serious game. Unfortunately, the storytellers aren't really that good because, look at my complaints about where's the story. It's like James Cameron's Avatar. Without Googling it, tell me what that movie's about. Can't, can you? I can't, and I've seen it twice. Unless I Google it, I cannot tell you the story of James Cameron's Avatar. One of the most successful movies ever made. Not many people I know, and they've seen it, without Googling it, can tell me what James Cameron's Avatar is about. And Borderlands 4 falls into the same thing. Can't tell me what it's about. The handful of characters that they do reuse, once again, they did a disservice to some of them. Amara, I want to double confirm before I start going into this, but Amara, they're in the game, and I don't remember them being that weak. So once again, Borderlands falls into this trap of making the sirens quick version. There's 6 sirens in the entire 6 galaxies or whatever. There can only be 6 of them, and we only encounter one of them. Once again, I'm keeping this spoiler light. And just like in the third game, where they punked Lilith for no reason, they punked Amara for no reason. At least Ava's not in this one, in the base game, so that's good. The only other siren you see in the game, it's never explained. It's not explained either how the moon got to where it went. The moon of Elpis, which is the moon from the pre-sequel, which is the moon that Lilith shoots off, I guess, into at the end of the third game to stop it from crashing into Pandora. And then all of a sudden, now we're in this way out galaxy 6 years later, because apparently something happened. And that's very poorly explained. Don't worry, the game poorly explains it as well. So the only other siren that you see in this game, I clowned on it because that cutscene, and when it's revealed, wow, what a... That's not the same person that I knew. That's definitely... They definitely look different now. And I don't know if it's an art style or whatnot, but... Yeah. So, between that and the contract missions not being fun anymore. They were, but now they're not, because I discovered that they keep looping. So it's the same missions over and over and over again. So after you do like the first round, you don't have to do them again. If you're leveling up, it's good, but yeah. Also, don't hold on to all your rewards like I did. I thought you needed to hold on to them, and they would level. When you open it finally, it would be at the level. No, it's not. No, yeah. I had 83 rewards crates to open at the end of the game when I finally hit level 50, and I opened the first one from the bottom, and it was at level 23 pistol, and I was like, uh-oh, bad things have happened. So now the things I do like about this game, the combat, the combat gameplay loop is there still. It's really good. It's slow at first, but then you get used to it. And I think it was slow at first for me because I had to adjust my horizontal sensitivity. On console, it's absolute garbage. You need to definitely increase the sensitivities on your horizontal and vertical. I kept vertical the same because I'm pretty good. I'm not really sniping that much. But horizontal, I needed to change it. And I'm going to change the FOV. That's going to be good. The combat is there, but I got so bored of the missions that I was doing that I was actively avoiding combat. Missions take too long sometimes. There's too many steps to certain missions in the game. You think you're at the end of the mission line, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, we need to do this now, even though you've already finished what we needed. We need this one more part, and then it will keep one and one moreing you, and then basically it's a lot of and then. The mission was done, but then, and then, and then, and then. So by the time you've been and then'd like 4 times, you're just sick of it, and you're just running from waypoint to waypoint. If, when you hit, I don't know what it is on PC, but on console, D-pad up for Ecto 4 to give you the guideline to see where it's at. As long as that didn't go ape ballistic, crazy, had an aneurysm, and it's just aiming at the side of a cliff at you like a mountain. Yeah, it'll work 60% of the time, the guiding beam to tell you where to go to next, but 40% of the time, man, it just does not work, and it's bad. That's another thing. For every good thing this game does, there's at least 4 things that I will clown on it or poop on it or just overall not like about it. And I played Amon for 60-ish hours, beat the game, beat all 3 vaults, did a decent amount of collectibles, and here's another thing. At first, it like finding vault symbols in the game, the first time you find one, my memory serves me correct, and I don't think I imagined it. It said if you find more of these, you can get the Timekeeper's influence away from you, because you're kind of trapped by the Timekeeper. Your Ecto 4 is keeping you away from his influence. And I thought if you do all these collectible things, by the end of the game, I thought, it'll be an easier fight because you don't have as much he doesn't have the Timekeeper doesn't have as much influence on you. Nope. Doesn't happen. Don't need to do any of the collectibles. It's just an XP reward and a cosmetic or 2. That's it. I wish some of the things that were promised in the beginning of the game like that, would actually have been followed through correctly, and they weren't. So yeah, that is my opinion of Borderlands 4. I will continue to unfortunately play it only because I got the $140 edition, and I got to get my money's worth. Will I roll another character? No. Will I play when some of the DLC starts coming out that I get automatically? Probably. I don't know. Do I want to do the grind? No. Do I want to get the knife combo that one-shots everything. No. Actually, I had that knife drop on my game, and I gave it to my nephew because he was looking for it. And I was like, hey, I got the vampiric right here. He's like, bro, what? Because his was like a level 20. Mine was like a level 48. And I gave it to him. The amount of boss melting that happened, he would be like, let's try to do this boss the right way without this. Because literally the knife combo, the knife med kit combo type thing that just one-shots, you see multiple health bars being melted from boss fights in a second. Like, when we finally did the last boss fight in the game, the last 2 boss fights in the game, using that method, after trying it a couple times the right way, it took 3 seconds each boss fight. 3 seconds for each one. So yeah, and to Gearbox's credit, they're not fixing it yet. They're more concerned about performance fixes and whatnot. So enjoy the knife combo while you can. You've got a bit more time with it, and I'm glad because, man, the combat in this game is dreadful sometimes. Even though I just said the gameplay core loop is good, when you're doing story missions and you're at, like, it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie with Rodney Dangerfield, but like he goes to college and whatnot, the triple lending dive, and the bad teacher at the end of the movie asks him one question in 27 parts. That is what some of these missions do. I just got one mission for you, one thing to do in 27 parts. And you're like, ugh. But you don't know it. So you're like 12 parts in, you're like, how much more is this got? Oh, there's another part of it. Oh, another, and another, and okay, I'm just running to the next point now. So my name is Dom Douglas for Max Heroes and Villains on YouTube. Once again, another call to arms. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe if you want to, because I feel that I've been doing a pretty good job lately. On that note, may your top deck always be mythic. All right.